Are we doing a comparison?
No, it's just a new video from
Got it.
Billy Billy.
Who is it?
Oh, you know this person. You know this person.
Is that a Wahoo? Hoo-wah? Hoo-ha?
No.
Shit! Oh,
You know
it's
her.
Gong
Linna.
Gong Linna.
That instrument was not erhu.
Oh, erhu?
I know you meant to say erhu.
Erhu.
But that wasn't.
What is erhu then? It's stringed, right?
Well, it looks similar, but like it's smaller bass. It's like a round.
Oh, yeah, sits on the lap, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm learning.
different
I'm
one.
learning. Gong Linna, let's go. So you'll see, she's very, very playful and uses a lot more of traditional sounds. She's also really capable of doing more modern stuff as well.
She's a good technician.
But she's really neat.
Yeah.
The Mongolian dude in the background.
Yeah. That instrument was also a Mongolian instrument.
What in the AI hell is going on?
I don't know how they
So the
achieved
audience doesn't experience that, right? The audience doesn't see any
it.
of
I
that.
don't know. I've never
Only
been
we
to
do.
a show like that. I've never been to a live show like that. It's a live show.
I did see a Cirque du Soleil show where there's a hologram of Michael Jackson, but it's not like this.
Wow.
I don't know.
That's crazy.
That's Vocaloid. That's a virtual singer.
VTuber or Vocaloid?
It's a Vocaloid. I think one of the most famous Vocaloid singers
Well,
in China.
so just to clarify, because Vocaloids are digital singers, like they're actually digital singers that,
Yes.
that you program.
I think so.
And then there's VTubers who have a 3D persona, but behind the persona there's a real person, a real singer.
But they never show their face.
They never
always
show their face, yeah. But I'm not sure. Is this a
This is a Vocaloid.
Vocaloid?
Everything's
Whoa.
computer generated.
That's wild.
And she is huge.
It just breaks my effing heart that that's even a thing.
She's
It just
huge
makes
in
singers
China.
obsolete, but
Very
okay.
popular.
So sorry, when you say she's very popular, you're talking about nobody exists.
I'm talking about that.
That character.
I
That
don't know
is,
if,
there's no human
Her
behind it.
Chinese name is Luo Tianyi. Luo Tianyi. That's her Chinese name.
Well, maybe we get rid of doctors and just have a machine do that too. They're like, hey, famous talented singer, we're gonna have you duet with a machine who is just as popular as you.
Hey, I love how they didn't edit her though. I hear pitch deviations there. She's not 100% accurate. But
But I don't even know if I'd like that. If you're gonna put me beside an effing machine, you better edit me a little bit too.
no, wow, that's not her mojo.
I know.
Her mojo is.
I know.
Well, I gotta say, her pitch is phenomenal.
Gong Linna?
Gong Linna is really, really good.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I recorded her once and then live, and then everything came out of her was like really, really.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just in my feels right now. I'm
Yeah.
having some emotions, but leave me be. That sound is what she's known for. So she adds that kind of pinchy character, not the same as Japanese, but a character all the same. You know, like that.
Yeah. So she's on the screen. She's like projected on the screen in the back, I assume. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how they make this live.
In person, I don't know. Listen to the Vocaloid thing.
Yeah,
Do you hear those
with-
like artifacts?
With the pitch bending, you can really hear the
'Cause it's-
robotic nature.
Right,
Yeah.
because it's programmed.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
Ah.
But I guess her fans love it.
Oh no, absolutely. I understand that, but my take is always going to be like offended and sad. It's just like no other way. It's like, well, your job doesn't exist. We just get a machine to do it now. It's like, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about it.
Yeah.
Also, that man is very funny.
That's another cultural instrument. From like Xinjiang. Yeah. Another.
That's what it's called?
No.
It's from the place?
From that place, Xinjiang. Yeah.
But also, he just is like, look at the look on his face. It's quite funny. It's like Aladdin. Ooh, lots of traditional instruments.
Oh, there's a lot of culture stuff.
Yeah. Lots of traditional.
Yeah.
Mixed with the most recent possible cutting edge technology humanly possible. I don't know, man. To hear a singer so talented and so capable, and to just have like a machine echo how, like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. I understand that if you enjoy this, you aren't really wrapped up in the how or the why. Mm-hmm. But as a musician, as a singer, this like, it just hurts.
It's very. I mean, it's on a different level for sure, but it's similar to synthesizers versus synthesized violin versus real violin.
But it's not like that because both of those are inanimate objects. I'm a human person.
That's why I said it's on a different level.
Yeah, I mean, but you're not. Who cares if you replace one instrument with another instrument? You're not taking away someone's life. You're just
exactly.
I'm not trying to be a Luddite. Technology is technology. It will move as it moves. It's just it literally. You're taking out the need for what I've worked my entire life for. Now, ultimately, you do need a vocalist to use
as a reference.
I think
her sound was demoed after a live person.
Yeah.
At the very beginning, I think.
But isn't that how it works? Isn't it a person?
Yeah. You can compose a Vocaloid melody just on its own. But it takes a long time. So
you mean via programming?
Yeah. Like they program every breath, the tone change.
Yeah, but aren't you still using a vocalist as the instrument?
Some people don't use real vocalists at all, not even as a reference.
Now they just use AI, right?
They use AI.
Yeah, but isn't the AI still isn't it still sampling a vocalist at some point?
Yes, exactly. So you get a real vocalist to add the real expression, and then that expression is captured using some AI.
You know what? She even held a joint concert with the pianist Lang Lang.
To me, that is the most genius marketing thing. It's like, we don't even have to pay the machine. We're going to make people love the machine. Yeah. Then we're going to throw a concert. We're going to take all the ticket money. Then we're going to play a machine.
Yeah.
It's genius.
Her voice is provided by the Chinese voice actress Xing or something.
Well, it's complicated because with Vocaloid, you do need to sample a real voice actor to do the sound.
So that's
yeah.
How do I say this? That is the craziest part. Is I'm not going to talk about this situation. I'm going to talk hypothetically over here for a sec. Hypothetically, somebody could sample my voice and be like, we want to do a Vocaloid character whose name is going to be Ben Jopre, right? We're going to do this other character, and we want to use your voice to sample it. Let's say we're going to pay you $1 million, so we need to sample your voice, and you basically have to sing a bunch of sounds, make a bunch of breathing sounds, and then you're out of the equation, you're done. So now your voice can say and do things that you may or may not want to say and do. Also, it can make a bazillion songs till past when you're dead. Mm-hmm. We're talking about intellectual property, physical property, human property. So that's why there's a strike in Hollywood. That's why this entire topic is insane right now, because as a creative, this hypothetical situation I'm talking about, my voice would be living on this cartoon character while I'm cut out of the equation till forever. And I don't know what they're going to make her sing about. Yeah. I don't know what topics or language, or I have no idea what they're going to do. I have to sign off on that. And it doesn't really matter how cool or creative or interesting I am or whatever. It's done.
But if people want to do shit to you, they don't need your agreement. They just take your voice, take your image, take whatever.
Well, and these days you can just use AI filters.
Absolutely, and we
have no control.
Yeah.
Over things.
I would disagree that we are on the precipice, because while you can do these things, you would be probably stopped at a big level, right? If somebody sampled my voice and put out a single and tried to make it a hit, we're at the precipice.
Yeah.
Remember the video I sent you where JJ did a dance and then everyone started making fun of it, putting different sounds on top of that?
来是看我去是够，点头 yes， 摇头 no， 趁地里开花4、5、6，6我看不就我3、6、9头。
And he was angry about it. And
Was he
couldn't
angry?
He couldn't do anything about it.
It is, but I'm just saying, as for someone trying to profit, if someone tried to sample my voice and put out a hit single, we are at the precipice of the industry would still be like, no, that's not cool.
I think so. I don't, I'm not a Vocaloid expert, but I do have some history listening to it and keeping up with some voice actors for this industry, and it's more of like a gig that you do. It's like vocal booth work. It's not an artist lending their voice.
Fine, but what he just said is they're doing concerts.
So they are doing concerts, and that's the gray area. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Is that how?
I'm sure how I feel.
Yeah. Well, but this all started on 15, 20 years ago, Nico Nico Doga, which is like Billy, but it's the Japanese version. And there's amateur producers who wrote hits on that platform because they didn't have a singer, but they had Vocaloid. So it allowed for new songs and new artists to express
And that would
themselves.
I can see that argument being made that, the singer is no longer the star, the programmer is.
Yes.
So it's handing over the baton of who the skilled artist is.
Yeah, and there are famous, so they call them tuners, like Vocaloid tuners. That's your role if you are programming the melodies. And there are people who are like, for example, Hatsune Miku is the most famous Vocaloid. And people are like, I love Hatsune Miku, but I love it when this guy or this lady programs it.
Okay, well, that argument makes me sound like a whiny baby. And that argument makes me just sound like, I want to be the star, not the tuner.
So, and I think that's the thing. It's like a lot of these people are doing gig work, right? They're doing work, like voice acting in the industry. And sometimes they get an offer. It's like, hey, we want to turn you into a Vocaloid. And they're like, wow, that's awesome. I want to do that.
Someone offered it to me and I said no. Not to be a Vocaloid, but to be... No, someone wanted to use my voice as samples for a kit, basically.
A sample kit,
A sample kit. And not just a sample kit, like for AI. Specifically for AI.
That's different.
So I guess it would be for Vocaloid, actually.
Be you would be training an AI.
That's right.
So you'd be feeding a library of data.
Correct. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, well, you're being really stubborn because eventually you're going to be lucky that I've even, you'll be lucky to even get work like this. And I was like... That's
very different. And I think my stance for the AI versus Vocaloid thing, it's so different because Vocaloid, at least you do have the tuners and the producers who are like, they're the star in a sense. They're the...
Exactly.
Right?
But then
the companies that put on these big shows with the 3D holograms, that's something I'm not really sure I understand how that works. Who's profiting? Because like you said, they're making millions and millions off an MP3 and an MP4 file.
Of a real person who's now cut out of the equation.
Yeah. So, and I don't know, maybe we don't know enough. Maybe the original voice actor does get
royalties. Maybe.
From these performances.
And also... Again, maybe c'est la vie. That's like saying, we can't move technology along because it'll make someone sad and feel less useful. But I do believe that the arts are a unique circumstance. We're not talking about, mechanizing a factory more efficiently. I don't know.
I don't think they're replacing humans, though. Gong Linna is still on stage, right? There's human. She's not singing by herself. The Vocaloid is not performing by herself right now.
Yeah, but it could be. And you said there's concerts where it is.
And they have.
There are, but usually they have guests though. Like for example, like she has.
Oh
she
yeah,
had
that's right. They always have a live singer and a vocaloid.
Usually, right?
Yes, yeah.
Well, maybe in 6 months I'll pull the stick out of my ass, but right now I am really not a fan.
Did you know Lady Gaga performed with Hatsune Miku? This is like, I don't know, 8, 9 years
That's
ago.
like the same thing that's happening here in China.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I hate that too. Equally. Like, that makes me emotional to hear, like, a human being. Like, this is a really touchy subject.
Yeah.
This is a really touchy subject, actually. Like, as an artist, you have to, like, eat healthily and take care of your body and make sure that you're fit and, like, in shape. And then, like, there's just a cartoon that just bees you. And they don't have to, like, eat well or exercise. They just get tuned. Like, it's a lot. And to be clear, this is lovely.
Yeah.
It's perfectly beautiful. It sounds great. It looks amazing. It's really, really neat. If it wasn't, like, threatening an entire profession, like an entire craft.
I think to give you a different perspective, because I have friends who really love vocaloid music. They are not people who listen to normal singing.
So you're like, it's a different crowd entirely.
It's a different crowd, yeah.
Yeah.
It's for different people.
It is, but the problem is that there's going to be a lot of people who won't know the difference and who won't care.
So, yeah, maybe in the future, yeah, it will get to that point, and I do see issues with that in the future, but for now, the community who loves this, they're very dedicated, and they almost kind of treat vocaloid music as, it's like a different genre. It's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just think that we're headed where we're headed.
Yeah.
But again, I can cry about it, literally, apparently, all I want. What's happening is happening anyway. And I will have to process that along with every other actor and singer and voice actor. I will have to move through it and reinvent and become more creative and become differently creative. But I think it would be funny for me to hide how I feel.
Right.
I understand.
Yeah.
But trust me when I say this, I think all these different worlds can coexist.
Coexist. That's exactly the word I was going to say, yeah.
You won't be obsolete.
It really depends. It really depends because financially, it makes sense to not need to pay a human person, right? When you're the person putting on a show, when you're at the top, you either have to pay with somebody who needs food and water and has emotions and feelings and needs wardrobe, or you record their voice and then build a cartoon that you can control and doesn't need food, water, or exercise. So perhaps you're right. But the writing seems to be on the wall a little bit. I do also believe, though, that people do love the art, the craft, and we may be 50 years out or 20 years out or 100 years out of not, really caring if it's a real live singer. And at the end of the day, there are many, many professions that are threatened by technology. I'm not unique. Yeah. Basically, we are at the precipice of pretty much every job being automated. So I'm not alone.
Yeah.
But I guess I didn't know we were doing this video, and I also didn't know I would react this way.
Yeah.
And I guess it just is what it is. I can't control it, what's going to happen, but I'm just sharing with you the other side because as a fan, I mean, you're right. As a fan, you're not like, oh, I used to like this singer, but now I prefer her as a cartoon. It's not like that. So, but I guess I'm just sharing the perspective from an artist because I know that not everybody knows artists. Right. Not everybody is chatting with singers and artists, and would think of this. Not that it would change, and not that it should change, whether you like Vocaloid or not. I truly, truly believe liberally that you should love what you love and lean into what you like. But I guess I'm just sharing my perspective as a creator. Well, there it is.
Interesting.
Gong Linna is beautiful, and the performance itself was highly entertaining. And it made me cry.
I feel emotional. It's intense. This is one of the best performances for that type of thing that I've ever seen. It's interesting.
Yeah, they do.
And the whole show is
Chinese shows
very well
are
done.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time stands still, yet passes so quickly. Some moments last forever, but the season's gone so fast. Nobody's the same after summer plays its game with our bodies and minds. And she's summer's child, and whoa, he's just wild for her popsicle lips and her lemonade hair that flips in summer's sun, sweet breeze. When they're spitting watermelon seeds in the sun, sweet breeze, they're pretending not to wonder what unspoken treasures lie in watermelon seeds in the sun, sweet breeze. When gravity loses its grip, well, just a little bit with watermelon seeds. There's just something about bare feet, oh, who needs shoes? Our bare feet, they pad the street, making rhythm from our blues. Blue lilacs and mud pies, green grass and beehives. This is the best life of our lives. A crazy clarity comes from bare skin. Oh, it washes away our winter sins when we're all spitting watermelon seeds in the sun, sweet breeze. They're pretending not to wonder what unspoken treasures lie in watermelon seeds in the sun, sweet breeze. When gravity loses its grip, well, just a little bit with Lord knows when we're spitting out watermelon seeds in the sun, sweet breeze. They're pretending not to wonder what unspoken treasures lie in watermelon seeds in the sun, sweet breeze. When gravity loses its grip, well, just a little bit with watermelon seeds.